Where can I make a difference? My priority is simple. It's to stop the dying. From deaths from violence, shootings or stabbings, traffic-related deaths, and overdose deaths. So when the commissioner told me I was getting assigned here, I said, that's a big thought, right? What can I do? How can I make a difference? And it's personal now. This is my home. This is where I choose to live. This is where I choose to raise my children. So I want to make the best Staten Island I can for them, but also for everyone else. Staten Islanders and New Yorkers as a whole, the opioid epidemic or pandemic obviously extends well beyond Staten Island and well beyond New York City. That's a nationwide issue right now. As a father of 2 young children, 2 preteens, that scares me. That keeps me up at night. We can't arrest our way out of the problem. Is there a place for arrests? Absolutely. We have to identify the people who sell this poison to our children. We need them to be prosecuted and we need them to be sent to prison. The flip side to that is you have people who struggle in the grips of this addiction, who commit petty crimes to feed that addiction, and locking them up doesn't solve the problem. All you do is create a revolving door. So you need good treatment options for them. As you know, all of our officers are equipped with naloxone or Narcan. We've identified, probably unsurprisingly, somewhat of a connection between some of our domestic violence incidents and people who are addicted to opiates. And our domestic violence officers and our neighborhood coordination officers follow up on those cases. They go to the homes and they'll provide Narcan to a family member or to the person themselves for free. We try to steer them into treatment. We give them referrals, but in the meantime, we don't want them to die. We start by focusing on where the areas where crashes are most prevalent. We identify what the cause of those crashes is. So if it's speed, if it's people making an illegal turn, people disregarding a red light or a stop sign, and we drill down to the hours when that's occurring. Right? So it's very much data driven, and then that's where we target our enforcement, and that's where we get a big reduction right away. And we constantly adjust that week to week, month to month. Obviously that data always shifts, and we have to shift with it. Since last Halloween and the truck attack on the west side, so we have to take a fresh look at all of our big public events. So for us here, the St. Patrick's Day Parade will be the first one. So the way we secure that event will be different from how we've done it in the past. Talking about blocker cars, as they have with the Manhattan parades, we're probably talking about vapor wake dogs, explosive trace detection dogs, things like that. Yeah, some response teams, some of our strategic response group or critical response command response teams. It was violence. Shootings, homicides. Think about it, almost 2,300 homicides in 1990, 5,000 or 6,000 non-fatal shootings. The way we did business back then, it bears almost no resemblance to what we do today. We ran from a 911 call to 911 call. We took a report and we moved on. The volume was such that there was very little investigation done. Even non-fatal shootings didn't really get an investigation. Detectives only came out for homicides. Forget about a burglary. I said when you think back, you laugh. It was ludicrous. It's a crime-fighting strategy first, which seems to get lost a lot in when we talk about it, and it works because every resident, every worker, every visitor, we charge to share responsibility for public safety. At the same time that we build trust with the community. They're all volunteers. You have to want to do this. Right? So we don't assign somebody and say, you're the neighborhood coordination officer. You got to be a people person. Right? If you're more introverted, you're just not going to fit. We give them a lot of training. They get the same, our NCOs get the same training that we give to newly assigned detectives. So they get our criminal investigations course.
Okay.
Because it is a crime fighting model, and we want them to work hand in hand with the detectives to solve crimes. We also want them to work with the community to solve the community's problems. The commercials want, they drive people to the website, right? Build the Block NYC. And this is probably the first time that we've done this, where if you go to that website and you put in your address, your home, your business, it will tell you who the NCOs are for your sector and give you their phone numbers and email addresses, their cell phone numbers and email addresses. They run meetings in their assigned sectors. So they come to the meeting, you deal one-on-one with these two officers, and we charge those officers to solve the neighborhood's problems. So we've had pressure for the past 25 years to keep pushing crime down. I mean, every time that we have a great reduction in crime, everybody celebrates New Year's Eve and the start of a new year, and so do we. But we also cringe because the books close on last year and we have to start over again next year. Obviously, the lower we push the numbers, the bigger the challenge is to keep getting reductions out of them. But we've managed to do it year over year, and there's no reason we would stop that now.